But in the Earth sign video, I was saying how we are magicians, we are mages, we are oracles, we are um, wisdom holders, right? Truth seekers. And so, because of that, like, not only is that an important job for society, for the outside, the external of us, it's important for us as creatives, because the thing about it is, if you can't see your own, okay, that was loud. If you can't see your own magic, how are you gonna convince somebody else of theirs? If you can't see your own magic, how are you going to convince someone of their child? Look, okay, it's about to be one of them. It's about to be one of them. Okay.
And your cousin too, rolling down the strip on gold, coming up slamming Cadillac doors. Me and you, your mama and your cousin too.
Hey, Bookie Bud, welcome back to Creative Divinations, where I divine for the creative you. I am Mecca. Welcome to the air sign mid monthly for July 2025, child. These are late. That's why they're called the mid monthly, because we're mid month. And I didn't want to just do the water sign because I actually got the water sign video out in time. But I didn't just want to do the water signs and then just not do everybody else. So we're mid monthing it, okay? I hope you guys have been doing well. We are about to get into this divination. Please remember that excuse me, child. Please remember that these are collective, okay? So they may or may not resonate. If you would like a divination that is more catered to you, make sure you go downstairs in the description box and you click the link and book you a little cute sesh with me. I would love to have you, okay? So, Spirit, what is the overlying energy for my air signs, my Libras, my Aquariuses, and my Geminis? Thank you. Oh, that's dope. I like that. Okay, so the overlying energy that we have is death. Okay, bottom of the deck we have power. Ooh, I love it. I love it. One, because I feel like, especially because death is encapsulated in a way to where we can look at death as its own transformation, right? And to me, there is power in a pivot. There is power in a transformation, right? And a lot of times, excuse me, especially in Western culture, we've been taught to look at death as something final, right? You hear people say that all the time. Child, death is final. When you die, that's just it. Excuse me. As a creative, as a hoodoo, I obviously don't believe that. As a death doula, I do not believe that. So, looking at it from that point of view, looking at it from the point of, like, some things may have had to die off, when you're really honestly saying some things have had to transform. Some things may have had to be laid to rest in order for you to pick something else up or perform some type of alchemy over something. There is power in that, right? Because it's easy to say that death is final, right? Not the whole deck, child. That's easy, right? It's easy to say that we have died to something, or that's the finality of something. And it's, to me, death is so much bigger than that, right? And that's something that I've learned as I have dealt with my own mortality. Like, I remember, especially, and I honestly feel like this is why I felt so called and pulled to do full doula work, meaning I do birth work and I do death work, right? And the reason that I feel like the death work was important for me is because there was a point where I was afraid of death, right? There was a point where I was like the thought of the fact that one day I'm going to close my eyes and I'm not going to open them. anymore. Like the thought that I'm not going to be here in the physical anymore used to terrify me, right? And in the grand scheme of things, like still dealing with it. But the more that I think about it, it's like, girl, what are you afraid of? It's kind of silly to be afraid because it's like you're not gonna really, you gonna be dead. And so like silly simple things like being afraid of I'm still standing on this. Okay, if you are my family and you are watching this, if you dare put me in the ground, I will haunt you for the rest of your life. Okay, but I want to do a green burial, so I want to be buried, or I want to be in nature, right? Look up green burials; they're dope. That's the best way that I can describe it. But I just don't want to be put in the ground. You can put me in a mausoleum. You can put me wherever. Don't put me in the ground. I don't want to be 6 feet under. And the more that I thought about the fear of that, it's like, girl, you not gonna know one way or another. Like, you're gonna be dead. So it's just like equating that to these cards, right? Me becoming a death doula and me working with dead folk as a hoodoo, that allowed me to take my power back in terms of the fear of dying, right? It gave me power versus fear. And so for some of you air signs, okay, for the month of July 2025, there is something that you may have had to die to or transform. And I feel like your folks and your spirits want you to see the power in that, right? And it's a beautiful thing. It's so beautiful. Like again, going back to death doula work before I even knew that death doulaing was a thing. I have always had a very close proximity to death. When my biological grandmother passed, I was in the room with her, and literally in the bed with her. When my grandfather passed, I wasn't physically with him, but we were so connected that literally the moment that he passed, I knew. My step grandmother, when she passed, I was in the house with her. So I've always had this proximity to death. And like I said, it's allowed me to take, not only just take my power back, but it's allowed me to see the beauty in death, right? The other overlying energy card we have is take charge, and it says you are taking a back seat in a situation and it may end up costing you your time, money, or opportunity. You need to step up and regain control once again. Okay, so that is also giving me take your power back. It is very interesting because this is my second time filming this particular divination. The first time I filmed it, I got halfway through it and I was like, something's not clicking for me. And so I decided to restart it. But in that first divination, I was definitely telling you guys and talking to you guys about how you may have been in a situation where someone has shamed you into quietness, right? They've shamed you into sharing who you are as a creative. And the whole message behind that was spirit was basically being like, take your power back, right? Step into who it is and what it is that you're supposed to be. And I feel like a lot of you may have been going through, if not already, you will be going through some type of transformation that is going to force you to do that. And y'all know how I feel about force. I would rather do it myself than to have spirit or my dead folk force me to do it, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to be in a very uncomfortable way, right? So why get your head out between the washer and dryer where you can just do it yourself? That's how I feel about that. But we're going to get some tarot cards to speak to what this is about. But this just gives me, I don't know, it's something about the dark red, the burgundy in this card. I don't know if it's really translating over the camera, but it's something about that burgundy that's just like, yes, it's giving like, not seductress isn't the word. Could you not hit me in the face? Thank you. Um, it's giving like, bro, I don't even know the word. It's a feeling that I really can't put into words, but it's giving like you are in charge of your own creativity. And that realization is so powerful. It is one of the most powerful realizations that you can have. And like I said a second ago, some of you guys may be going through this transformation where you're realizing that, where you're reasserting yourself, where you're finding your voice again. And that has come through you. I can't make this up. This is coming through you having to either die to something or transform something, right? The first card we have out is the Magician. And again, in the first divination, I was talking about, or referencing rather, the Earth sign video. So some of y'all may need to go back and watch that one. Um, but in the Earth sign video, I was saying how we are magicians, we are mages, we are oracles, we are um wisdom holders, right? Truth seekers. And so because of that, like, not only is that an important job for society, for, you know, the outside, the external of us, it's important for us as creatives. Because the thing about it is, if you can't see your own, okay, that was loud. If you can't see your own magic, how are you gonna convince somebody else of theirs? If you can't see your own magic, how are you going to convince someone of their child? Look, okay, it's about to be one of them. It's about to be one of them. Okay. What I was saying in the Earth Sign video, and one of the things that I love about doing this is, for some reason, in some way, every month I feel like all of the readings stack on top of each other, right? If you notice, a lot of the time I'm like, maybe you need to go back and watch this video, or maybe you need to go back and watch that video, or whatever, right? And I feel like the reason for that is because this is a collective energy, right? The Magician, okay? The Magician. The thing about the Magician is, the Magician, if you look, is very focused energy, right? You have all the tools. You have the wand, you have the cup, you have the pentacle, you have the sword. The candle is being burnt at both ends, okay? But what always sticks out to me is the energy is being directed. It's focused energy, right? And so, to me, as a creative, that translates over to, in order for you to be the magician, in order for you to be this creative, right? Because I do believe that they're, like, everybody's a creative in their own way. Some of us just do it very intentionally, right? For you to be this magician, for you to be this creative, there needs to be a level of focus. And I feel like you only get that level of focus and that level of intention by taking your power back, right? Like I was saying a second ago, you can't. I'll even use myself for an example. I said this, I think, in the Earth Sign video as well. I can't get on here and constantly be telling y'all to take your power back and be the creative that you know that you can be, and all of these things, if I'm not doing that for myself, right? Because y'all would, like, you would look at the fruits of my labor and be like, okay, you telling us to do this, but, like, are you taking your own advice? And the reason for that, the reason that I feel like that happens with certain people, is because we allow this. And y'all know how I feel about this card. It's self-induced, right? One of the most powerful things, especially about this particular card, is realizing that you, like, you're still in power even here, right? Why? Because at any point she could take this blindfold off, she could unravel these rags and step through these swords, right? Because, like, you would look at this card and be like, well, you know, that's it, whoever tied her up and put the blindfold on her, put these swords around her, they won. But did they really? because they left an opening. But did they really? Because they didn't really bind her too tightly, right? So it's almost giving like, okay, I'm gonna put you here, but what you gonna do about it? That's powerful for you to realize, like, yeah, you did this, you said this, you made me feel this way, but I can work myself out of that, right? I can conjure myself out of this, right? I love it. And I feel like the reason that that's so important is because this leopard's card. Amen. Y'all know how I feel about the leopard's card. Y'all know that when I see this card that I think about the duality of who we are as people. Up, down, in, out, light, dark, as above, so below, as within, so without. The same power that you see in other people also resides within you, but it's not up to anybody else to be the author and the finisher of your faith. It is up to you to see that within yourself and take charge of that. Like the overlying energy card said, you're taking a back seat in whatever this is. It's time for you to step forward. It's not to invalidate whoever or whatever made you feel this way, right? But like I think I said this in the Earth Sign video, like, are you going to look back in your life or on your life and be regretful about all of the things that you didn't do, about all of the ways that you continue to give your power away to other people and allow yourself to shrink because of what other people thought, right? We have the Knight of Wands here, a card that speaks to action, a card that speaks to fiery action, right? Okay, you ain't gotta be all loud and stuff. I'm just saying. I can't make this up. Why is this? Okay. I'm trying to get the cards together. This is post transformation you. Okay? This is you being asked to trust in the Ooh, that's gonna be the name of this video. Trust in the transformation. Because trusting in the transformation means that you're trusting in and of yourself. It's not to say that we don't, I don't want to use the word worry, but for the lack of a better word, it's not that we don't worry about what other people think or how other people receive us, because we're human. We're going to have those emotions. But the goal is to not let what other people think and what other people say and how other people receive you to stop you. Everybody's going to have an opinion whether you're doing good or bad, but opinions are like, what? Okay. And to finish that statement, yeah, opinions are like buttholes that everybody has one, but not everybody cleans theirs. Okay. Spirit, any more messages? So yeah, like, you're being asked post transformation again. If you haven't gone through this transformation, you may, as the months continue, as we go through the rest of this year, you may start to see that transformation start to creep up. But wherever you are in that transformation, you're being asked to trust it. Not just trust in a new beginning, but like literally trust in the transformation. The thing that I love about the Fool card, and I'm reading this book called the 78 Degrees of Wisdom. And in this book, excuse me, hiccups. In this book, she talks about how the Fool is all encompassing, right? And I promise you, y'all are probably going to get sick of me referencing this book, but it's okay. Because she breaks it down in this book, okay? Okay. So, one of the things that it says about the Fool is, at times when we come under pressure from people around us to be practical, the Fool reminds us that our own inner selves best tells us what to do. I'm going to repeat that. At difficult times, when we come under pressure from people around us to be practical, the Fool reminds us that our own inner selves best tell us what to do. The Fool can symbolize beginnings, curiously leaping off into some new phase of life, particularly when that leap is taken from some deep feeling rather than careful planning. Those belong to the Fool in its normal position. We must also consider the reverse, that is, when we have the mixed cards that makes the Fool come out with feet on top. So, all of that to say, okay, people can say what they want. People can want you to participate and to exist in the ways that they want you to exist within the realms of your creativity. But you know you best, right? And a part of you knowing you the best means that you trust yourself. You trust your own creativity. You trust your own discernment. You trust what it is that you trust that what you have to offer is good enough. Not because somebody else said it's good enough. It's giving like hype me up. I'ma hype me up. Okay, I'm gonna hype me up. I don't need nobody else to tell me what to do, much less hype me up. You feel me? And the thing that I love, the two cards that came out is the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. Baby. In both of these cards, even though we know this is like the hand of God or the hand of the divine or whomever, right? Both of these hands are full. Which one do you want? Because this is giving other people's bullshit. I'm not even gonna hold you. So, do you want that, or do you want this? Because this, I know it's a hand, but this is also a leg up. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we have anything. Oh, bottom of the deck. Come on, child. Knight of Pentacles, bottom of the deck. I love the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is one of my favorites because, first off, it's Earth sign. But just like Earth signs, this card talks about the slow progress. But the slow progress being important because it's efficient, right? So what are you telling yourself about this process? Are you being impatient? Very surprised. Not we have death twice. Child, I can't. What are you telling yourself about this process? About your process? Heavy on the you. What are you telling yourself about this process? Are you believing the things that other people are saying to you and taking them on as your own truths, knowing that's not how you feel about your process, about your creativity, about your transformation? Because can't nobody judge your transformation but you. I mean, they can, but who cares? Can't nobody tell you about you. It's like, it's giving like, who gonna check me? And I'm not saying that in an elitist or in a cocky way, but it's just like, I feel like there's so many creatives who, and I've been guilty of this myself, so don't feel like I'm coming at y'all. But there's so many creatives who like create for the sole purpose of reaction from other people. And if that's you, that's okay. Admit that to yourself. But at the same time, like that can't be the sole reason why you create. Because even if that is the reason that you say, it is the reason you create, right? To get to be reactionary, right? It starts with self first. Like art is subjective, right? So even if you don't have a particular or specific reaction that you want people to feel, people are going to feel the way they're going to feel anyway, right? Because art is subjective. Artistry is subjective. Somebody can look at this video and get one thing, and somebody can look at it and get something totally different. And neither one of those people are wrong. Why? Because art and artistry are subjective, right? And so, with that being the case, what you need to do and what you need to do only is create from here. Create from a place of trust. Create from a place of power. Create from a place of I am the magician. I have all of what I need, and I'm going to make it do what it do with what I have. For a lot of y'all, that is what this transformation is about. This transformation is trying to push you into taking charge of your own artistry, of your own signature, of the way that you experience your own artistry, your own power. Okay? We have the Ace of Cups. Mm. Are you allowing your artistry to pour into you? Are you trusting enough of your own artistry, of your own creativity, that you're allowing it to hydrate you and to replenish you? This is a cup about you. This is not a cup about other people. So, what deposits are you making into this cup? Not only what deposits are you making into the cup, but are the deposits that you're making into the cup from you, from your mind, from your heart, from your soul and your God-given self-expression. That what is what goes in that cup. That is what is supposed to come out of that cup. And that is what your transformation in the month of July and moving forward is supposed to be teaching you. Like I said it in the last video that I was filming for you guys. If you are at a place right now where you are going through this transformative time, because again, we had the death card twice out here, right? We had it in tarot and it's the overlying energy. So to me, that's not small. That's like some heavy alchemy, some heavy transformation, some heavy endings, right? And a lot of times, and y'all know I only speak from experience because I've been experiencing this transformation for over a year now, right? And it's it's okay. And I want y'all to really grasp that. It's okay as a creative at certain points in your life to not know who you are and to not know how that is going to relate or not relate to you as a creative. Like I said at the beginning, we die to things every day, right? Even like think about our skin, the largest organ that we have. You shed skin every day, whether you see it or you don't see it. It happens, right? So, as a creative, you are constantly going to be changing every day, whether it's something that is consciously something you're aware of or it's subconsciously. But you're going through changes. And it's not strange to look up one day and be like, I'm not that person anymore, but I also don't really know who I am. But how is that going to affect my creativity and who I am as a creative being who shares their creative expression? That's the beauty of creativity. And the beauty of that is like you can, and I said this before, when you are in this spot, you can create anything you want to create. You can be whomever you want to be as long as it's true to you. And I feel like that's what the lesson is in this. So, we are going to get a surrender card. Also, if you liked this reading so far, please make sure you hit the like button and leave me a comment because you know I love talking to y'all. And also, if you want something that is more specific to your situation, make sure you book with me, okay? Spirit, what is the message? What do we need to surrender to? Came out sideways. We're not taking that. Spirit, what message do my air signs have? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. It says surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let me try to read backwards. It can't. It says let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can then you can own your power and soar in your life. So again, when I was talking about this Seven of Swords, what have you been telling yourself about your current self that is not true? What is outdated? What is not you anymore? I feel like sometimes we feel guilty about growing. We feel guilty about transforming and not being the same person throughout the entirety of our lives. That would be a very boring person. Imagine that. Imagine you were just the same way throughout your whole life. You never changed it up, you never switched it up, you never grew, you never changed your thoughts, none of that. You were just the same person the whole way through your life. Like that would be a very, very, very boring existence. You feel me? So like explore. If anything, explore these outdated beliefs about yourself and be like, okay, this is who I'm moving toward. This is who I want to be. And understanding that that outdated person that you are or were, you had to be that. But it's okay to also not be that anymore. That is taking your power back. Not be having hiccups. Good God. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Like think about your favorite rapper or your favorite singer, right? I'm gonna use Wale for example, okay? Because this is an argument that a lot of us Wale fans be having. And there's a slew of Wale fans who are like, damn, we miss the old Wale, we miss the lyricist that he used to be. And not to say that that's invalid, right? But in the same breath, when we think like that, we take away to me, we take away from the fact that like, yeah, he's not the same Wale that he used to be, but he has also grown in his artistry, right? He's also grown as a lyricist. So it's just like there's nothing wrong with growth is my point. You feel me? This it's not, again, people are gonna like it whether you grow or you don't. People are always gonna have something to say, right? And so it's just like, why let that be your deciding factor? Huh? I can't make this up. We have past selves, and it says, give thanks for the selves that you were before, understanding that they served a purpose for that time. Some of our past selves were built for survival and knew only what we knew at the time. Under the circumstances, you made magic, you made love, you made it to this very moment. And for that, give thanks. The affirmation is I give thanks for who I was, who I am, and who I am becoming. I have nothing else to say. That oh, I love it when a thing comes together. Okay, this has been your July 2025 mid monthly for the air signs. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you interact with the video. I love talking to y'all in the comments. Also, side note, the pop-up shop for the incense is open. We have the four main runners back up because that's what y'all wanted. So we have Alter, Bando, Boy Center, and Yak. You can check out the incense down below. If you are someone who has never experienced a curated soft incense, boo, okay, this is your time to do it. They're $2.99 for a pack of 10, and go ahead and get familiar with it so when the big reopening comes in October, you already know what you want, okay? Make sure you also sign up for the email list so you can stay abreasted and aboobied of everything that goes on with Creative South. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your month. Be great, get bread, say all the way live. And with everything be intentional, have the July you conjure. Peace.